All right. Okay. So let's play a video game. Can't be Crush Crush. Unfortunately, there's a new phone fling with her, but not that. I instinctually clicked on Final Fantasy 14. Let's do Celeste. We'll do Celeste. Give me a hot second here. So that's good. Let me open Gamepad Tester. Come on, lad. You can do it. I have faith in you. There we go. Sorry, I'm doing two different things at once here. Getting the game booted up as well as trying to get this stuff going. Background color. RGB. Perfect. And then there's one other thing I was going to do, right? Oh, right. Hi. How y'all doing? Let me just get the colonoscopy. Sorry, ever since someone called it that, I can't not see it. And it just makes me laugh, but I'm not gonna stop using the little circle because I think it's a good idea. So since it doesn't like take up a ton of room. So before I do Reflection Berry, you want to see some more of the map that I was working on? I'll show you it if you like. Oh, I hear an echo. 1 second. Yes, there we go. Move echo. So this is what I'm working on. The idea is that you're Badline, even though the sprite is obviously Madeline, but you're Badline going through and sorting out Madeline's head. Here, you can get that strawberry pretty easily, but I'm not going to bother. This is the first tricky room. So you can stop yourself by going down here, or you can continue it. And if you get the angle right, then you can just immediately go into that. You can screw that up too. But you do want to get the jump there. Otherwise, I don't think you'll make it. And then there's this, right? Cutscene. If you played the first chapter of Into the Woods, you understand that Maddie and Batty can't remember what they're sad about. The Badlands gone into the subconscious to try to figure it out, basically. Here's a good thing. Oh, sorry. So you see I added that in. If you do it right, like you can do this a number of ways, right? You can do this and then you're immediately there, or if you time that right, you can actually use it to bounce and get up like this, which I think is kind of cool. Obviously not really like the first choice, but it's a choice if you know it's coming. Otherwise you just avoid it. Of course, wave dashing always, right? A little bit of wall bouncing or climbing. I'm not gonna do all the secrets for you. Like, not gonna collect all the strawberries since I'm not done with the map yet. But there's a couple doors here to get through, and then if you don't want the strawberry, it's pretty easy to just leave. But otherwise, you have to go a little bit further. course, there's 2 doors here, so you gotta go up as well. And you're kind of getting on top of the tower here. I'm thinking I maybe should put a sign on that. I'm not sure yet. And then I thought this was pretty cool. You use battle line as a ladder, or you fuck it up. But you use battle line as a ladder. And for the most part, she throws you from like left to right, except for the final one, where she throws you back the other way. And then she says she's tired. And so then you get the double jump. Now, unfortunately, the camera really likes to lock onto battle line while she's in the stage, and you can't like despawn her. So you kind of have to. I mean, you can keep going without that, but it's easier if you do it this way. She throws you up, you get tossed. Oh no! And then I screwed up. So we had to do it all again. That's the other thing. Battle line being in existence makes it so that things don't always work out right. So I feel like there's a little bit of troubleshooting to be had in this room that I haven't done yet, but it's not too bad, honestly. I think I really wanted to do something with dream blocks, since the whole idea, of course, is that you're kind of in a dream world trying to fix things. You're basically just in her subconscious, right? So now I still have a double jump because I have one, right? But now that I've used it, it's gone. So your inventory is what it's called in the map maker thing, goes back to normal. Now that you have a key. I don't really know why I died there, honestly. In that fall from battle line. And then we unlock the subconscious. Bonk. Now, so, you know, obviously a bad idea there, but we just come over here and we can get bouncing. And then here I was trying to do something like semi-unique, maybe. There's a strawberry down here if you want it. Otherwise, you got to be careful. You can squish yourself back up. But I was trying to make rooms that moved, basically. Or you'd kind of have to, you know, puzzle things out a little bit by using the swap blocks. And, you know, it's not entirely what I originally envisioned. There's a couple other rooms later on that that do it a bit better, I think. But this was my first attempt. This room, you can tell by the fact that there's a strawberry there that you don't need to jump. Jumping is not the best idea, as you might be able to guess. But you know, you can get it. Or you can let it run. And then we have this room, this bit, which I kind of like. So like, you have to dash, otherwise you'll get crushed against the spikes. But you also kind of have to, you know, be careful, because you'll get pushed up into the spikes if you're not careful by those things. It's not really a hard room, honestly, but it's fine. All right. And then, you know, the bird is here again as the reminder to wave dash. And it's a pretty long, well, actually this is the short one. There's 2 rooms like this. And as you can probably guess, you just yeet yourself over and you're good. It's lined up pretty well, so even if you screw up the wave dash, you still end up there. Then there's this one, which is like that previous room, but more, as you can tell, it's a rather long room. It's like 3 times as long as the other room, but it goes by quick, as you can tell. Oops. Technically, I could have... could have been mean and like not put the double ones there, but ooh, screwed that up. Like the first set, these ones right here. Technically, the bottom one, like you could get by without using it, except for the fact that you have to, like that they're swap blocks. So if you did wave dash up to get to the thing, then you'd have a problem because it wouldn't be there anymore. But you can, that second wave dash though, right here, you can either stop yourself with the dash, or if you just press A and keep jumping, you do get enough momentum to go to the next platform, if you have it timed well enough. And then there's this room. So it's too far to jump, right? So you obviously have to wave dash, right? And in case you can't tell, there's squishes. So no practicing. And Maddie isn't having any of it. So there's a strawberry there. The entrance is here. You just have to find it. But you don't need to do it. And then kind of inspired by all the reflectioning, we have a spike water section. Like I said, I'm not going to bother getting the strawberries. Like these aren't that like interesting to make. They're just kind of like take a breather sections. Of course, there's also horrible fish creatures, but you know, it's fine. And then we have a very angry bad line. You can tell we've kind of shifted here, come out of the waterways, and now we're in a moldy place. I always do that. It's the second coming higher that gets me. See, I make the map and then I can't do it still. I get like mesmerized by the circling dots of doom. So the goal of the map is going to be inside that locked door, which you have to get through. You have to go through all the clutter to get there. Ooh. Let's do this way. I made the top section first, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom section. That was close. Which actually is slightly harder, I think, if I remember right. Okay, I haven't made that room yet. That's where I stopped this weekend. That's my very lazy way of doing this. And then, fun fact. Oh, you do have to do the other one first. Huh. I didn't realize I accidentally made that. So this section right here, you need the double dash to get through. No, you don't. Never mind, I lied. Never mind. Okay. So then this one's not too hard. You just gotta be careful. That one's the hard one. Like this one's easy. And then because I haven't removed the block clutter yet, or the book clutter, sorry. Those books are still there to make sure you can reach the platforms. There you go, got it. So now all the laundry is taken care of. So then we have the books to take care of next. As per usual, the bird marks a spot where you should be wave dashing. All right. Normally there's laundry blocking your path there. Oh. Could have done that better. Now, the fun thing, of course, is that you don't actually need to do this. Like, you can just do this, but fine. And those are normally blocked up by laundry. So yeah, okay, doing it out of order isn't too bad. This is the hard section, mind you. Because blobs are evil. Also, normally there's, or not normally, just if you do this section first, there's laundry there for you to stand on, I think. Let's try this again. This next section that gets a little tight. Oh, ooh, ooh. Okay, as long as I crouch, I'm okay. Gotta go through it when it's open. It's like weirdly mesmerizing. Right now, right now. Ah, shoot! I was too focused on those other two. Yeah, there's not much else though that I've done yet. Like, these two blocks are the two I've done. Or the clutter blocks, I mean. Ooh, that's a little close. Okay, let's try to do this without getting hit by the bottom guy. Open. Open. There. Just have to stop holding back. So she gives you the double jump there. So now you have it permanently. And that's going to connect to another room, by the way. I was blocking it off purposely because I want to make it a room where you need the double jump to do things with. But yeah, that's it for now. So yeah, that's the map that I'm making, that I'm part of the way to. So anyway, let's play some real maps. Let's play maps that like have lots of thought put into them and such. Bonk. Bonk. I mean, not that mine don't have, you know, some amount of thought put into them, but you know what I mean. Something that's I was about to say real. That's not fan made or made by someone competent in level design. So we'll do this for a little while. I don't really know, I don't know how long I want to do this. I mean, ideally, of course, you know, we get a golden berry, but it's not guaranteed now, is it? Especially considering that we haven't even gotten halfway through the boss section. Gotten like 30% of the way through. You know what I would enjoy seeing? This is kind of inspired by the fact that I was watching a Small Amp video earlier because he put out a new one where he finished his Mario touches Cap equals death run. I wouldn't mind seeing Small Amp play Celeste. Like he speedruns like plenty of other things. He clearly has like the chops for some intense movement and like precision such and everything, considering all the Odyssey things that he does. So I feel like he'd probably make a pretty decent decent Celeste player. If he's not already, I don't know. I don't watch him live, so for all I know, maybe he does it and it's just not been highlighted. So he's fun to watch. Also fun to watch Eliminate. He put out a new video today as well. Today or yesterday? I think it's today. Where he like went over one of the mixes of his song called Break Shit with an exclamation point instead of an I at the end. I listened to the song for the first time today after I listened to him talk about some of the things that he made in it. It's actually a lot shorter than I expected. It's only like a 2-minute song or something, which maybe I should have expected considering the length of his like other things. But either way, he's entertaining to watch his music creation such, and was honestly the inspiration for doing anything in FL Studio in the first place, which led to some decent laughs. I mean, Pain and D and all the other silly things are pretty good for a laugh, not for actual, you know, music, anything. But it's fun. I feel like it's nice to watch YouTubers who kind of like encourage you to do something out of your comfort zone every now and then. Or, wow, wrong direction. Maybe I shouldn't say out of your comfort zone. Music is not out of my comfort zone. But like, streaming, making music, I guess was. Something like that. The good thing... I don't know if I want to say what I was about to say. The good thing about like being like mildly depressed half the time and such, what am I doing? Is that like when you stop giving a shit about a lot of things, you also kind of open the door to let yourself try new things because you just don't care, like if it works out or not. So that can be a bonus. Whee! So that said, I'm in a good mood today. So like overall, decent day. Like I finished the presentation that I was nervous about yesterday. Haven't given it yet. That's tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to be like shitting myself basically. Because I haven't practiced the presentation at all yet. And also I'm giving it like my boss is there too. And he said he'd like do a little intro thing. But then I don't know like how much he's going to talk versus how much I'm going to talk and whatnot. And then like I was making graphs for this presentation and such, and like finding information that I haven't actually seen before because I never like tried to get it / didn't even know I could and whatnot. And then one of my underlings one of my direct reports was kind enough to share a query that she's used in the past for similar questions that have been asked before. Like I was talking to her and telling her about some of the stuff that I need and whatnot. She's like, oh, I have this. You want to use it? It's like, oh, yes. So did that and then like revamped it, updated it, did a bunch of other stuff and made a nice chart for some data over the course of a few months, only to discover that there's been like this big ass drop in some stuff flowing through our systems that no one was aware of, including me, and no one had complained of to the person who's like in charge of like all these things and such. So like I put it together and then was showing it to my boss, and he's like, oh, be prepared to answer like any questions around that because they're probably gonna ask. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I went asking around and such. My last hope is that the person who gave me the query might be able to answer like why we have this like massive dip and some stuff that shouldn't have a dip. So that'll be fun to explain. Because I think I mentioned it. Yeah, I think when I was talking about being nervous about it and such, that it's a presentation to my boss's boss's boss. So like people who need answers for things and have lots of power in the company. So, you know, little things. You know, that water section, how it just kind of like lets you fall down through a bunch of air and those things. I suppose that's something that maybe I should try to emulate in my level design. Because I'm always like trying to make things make sense in some way. Like having things loop back and then kind of turn into similar stuff as well as above them or those things, or have areas sort of connect in some fashion. And maybe I need to stop doing that. Maybe I need to have a better sense of fantasy. I love that little bloop noise. It's really worried that was gonna hit me. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. It's fine. Oh god, it's not fine. It's fine. Give me your bloop. Swap to the laser. Is there a bloop? Yes, there is. That's right. The bubble was now called the bloop by me. Don't ask me why. Just gonna call it that. Shit, the bloop. Ah! Not bad. Not bad. A little bad. Getting the bad line on our second death or whatever it was is not bad at all, though. One of the other things that I thought about doing... Oh boy, that was a little bit close. So my flashcard website, I was thinking, since I have the pages and such, and how there's so many flashcards, that it might be good if I could, like, instead of choosing, you know, book 1, book 2, or like class 1, class 2, like those things, or level 1, level 2, all that stuff that I have, that kind of, that separates the cards from each other in some way. I was thinking about maybe making like a slider, where you choose the minimum and maximum for what pages you wanted, out of like which book or something. That way you could like narrow it down a bit more. Because I mean, like, you know, the full-blown nuclear option would be to actually make it not just be a static site, but include some state into it. so that it could track your which ones you've seen and that kind of thing. And I mean, I could store the information into a cookie, I suppose, but the cookie would run out of room pretty quick. So I'd have to find some clever way of doing that, or like the world's most amazing compression algorithm, which isn't going to happen. Although, I mean, actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. If you consider, instead of a number, if you could just consider a binary blob with as many bits as there are flashcards, with each bit turned on for each flashcard you've seen, that would be pretty low storage space. That could work, actually. I forget if you're allowed to... No, you are. Yeah, that could work. Anyway, sorry. Distracted. I mean, that doesn't store how many times you've seen it, though. That's just a you have seen it. Still, it would be nice to kind of track your progress so you would always see new stuff or something. Would I reset it? Shit, sorry. Got lost in thought for a second. I was thinking to myself, would I reset it if I was modifying like cards and things, you know? Could be fun. I haven't streamed programming in a while, so it could be a fun little exercise to do. Tell you what, let's get the battle line at least one more time before I decide to go off and attempt to program something. I mean, I'll show you it. Don't get me wrong. I just have to, you know, hide all my horrible things on my browser desktops and what have you. And by that I mean... what do I mean? I have a Fontia tab I should probably close, and that's about it, I think. And 2 Pixab tabs. Mind you, I don't mind talking about the fact that they're open or those things. Like, I really don't have much of an issue most of the time talking about good art or things that people make, even if they are sexual in nature. Because it's normal. I appreciate art in all forms for the most part. But obviously Twitch doesn't want that kind of thing showing up anywhere, and I don't want to give them any reason to remove me, so I just want to avoid a Janet Jackson Super Bowl scenario, as it were. God, how far back does that date me when I reference that? 2000 something? When was that anyway? When Justin Timberlake reached over and removed the like nipple plate or whatever it was from Janet Jackson's thing and exposed her breast to like the entire Super Bowl. I don't watch the Super Bowl, but I remember hearing about that one the next day at school. Like, everyone was talking about Janet Jackson's nipples, and I was like, okay. Like, okay. I don't know. It's like the whole fappening thing and such, when like all those leaks happened and such, and everyone was really excited, mainly because of well, like Jennifer Lawrence, I think, was the main reason people were excited about that. I don't really remember anyone else who was in that leak. Maybe Megan Fox. I don't know. Don't remember. Honestly, not that important. I think I was in college at the time of the fappening. And almost recovered that. If I'd gone up If I'd gone up, I could have barreled back and then bounced back and possibly survived. Excuse me. I mean, I still think that the fappening was a shitty thing. Like, don't get me wrong. No one wants their private photos leaked. It doesn't really matter if you're a celebrity or not, I think. It's like when people bring hard drives in to like Geek Squad or something like that. I would never want to do that. Like, I have too much shit that I like on my hard drive to give it to a Geek Squad employee. Like, just a lot of, like, sentimental stuff. Lots of pictures of pizza, you know. Lots of food. Lots of cooking photos. Actually, the cooking photos aren't on my hard drive. Or rather, on my external hard drives, I should say. They're on my regular drive, but... all the, like... the picture captures of the various photo things that I... the food things that I've made over the last, like, couple years or so that I show every now and then on stream. Those are important to me. I wouldn't want a Geek Squad person to delete those. But also, like, I have videos from, like, high school. Like, one of my friends who invented a sort of, like, Pig Latin language with her other friend. And, she had a crush on me. She actually asked me out in 7th grade, I think. And me, the fool, said no because I was obsessed with this other girl. Worst mistake of my life. Actually, in general, that's been... I feel that's been the mistake of my life. My, See, if you say obsessive nature, it sounds bad and terrible. But if you say overcommitment, then it sounds less terrible. But it's the same fucking thing. Like, I'd get crushes... I'd get a crush on a girl, right? And then I wouldn't have a crush on any other girl for, like, years. Like, my first crush lasted from 2nd grade till 7th grade. A long-ass time to be dedicated to someone who, like, barely knows you exist. Who I actually became friends with later on. Like... 4 to 5 years later, became like decent friends with her. But regardless, like that, and then the girl after that, who was like 8th grade to 10th grade or something like that, I think, for crush purposes, robbed me, my poor stupid youthful self, robbed of a lot of experiences that I probably could have had early on in life. And I'm not talking sex, I'm just talking about like dating and like getting your heart broken and those kind of things, but like earlier on in life as opposed to in high school. Because my first girlfriend was in high school. I wish that it had been earlier so I could have dealt with the unfortunate pain of being broken up with and such before I was when I was a bit younger. Ooh, that was close. Because like breakups and those things like hurt, you know, they hurt, and I'm told, I wouldn't know obviously given what I just said, but I'm told that it's easier to recover from those kind of things when you're younger and to kind of like learn to live with it as opposed to having to learn that lesson later on when maybe you're a bit older and dumber and don't adapt quite as well. Or it could just be the fact that I'm a jaded old man. I don't know, could be that too. Okay, let's try not to fuck this one up this time. Nearly died last time because I screwed up part of it. Anyway, sorry, that was a long roundabout way of talking about the little videos that I have from that friend who, it's like, you know, good memories of hanging out with them in a park. And them like speaking in the little pig Latin. It's not pig Latin, it was their own variation of it. But, you know, it was cute. We were all cringe. It's probably why I like Lucy Pyre so much. Because she's cringe incarnate. But in the best kind of way. Speaking of, she streamed her Final Fantasy 14 thing today, right? Her, like, challenge. She put out a video of it this morning. About how she was going to PvP someone or something. I don't really remember the full context, but I know that I enjoy her cringiness, as she calls it. And that despite all odds, I don't know, I find her cute. Not about to, like, you know, run. Oh. Not gonna run around and simp for her, but it's pretty good still. I just want to see real quick. Lucy Pyre. Let's see. Chair versus Lucy PvP is real. What the fuck? 9 hours ago. Yep. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, she's cute. That's all. Let me try to get to Battle Line one more time, I think. Yeah. I'll try to get to Battle Line one more time, see how far we get, and then call it for Celeste. Because I kind of want to program. Which I program all day for work. When I'm not stuck doing managerial things. But also, for a long time, it was also my hobby. I say was. It still kind of is every now and then, but it used to really be my hobby. Like, I'd get home from work, and I'd program my side projects. And I always had a side project, always. Always had something to add to GitHub. Something to contribute. You know, had a little tech blog that chronologed like interesting things that I did, or I'd run across a really stupid error message and then spend an hour trying to figure it out and then blog about it afterwards, so if anyone else ran into it, they'd find that and save themselves a little bit of time. Which, like, is... like, saying that out loud, like, makes it... maybe not, I don't know. I never did it with the expectation that, like, 1 million people would see it, or something like that, you know? Like, some people, like Troy Hunt and all of them, have, like, really... like, they have tech blogs that are read by, like, thousands of, hundreds of thousands of people or whatever. Never tried to do that, but, like, I did have, what was it, Disguise? One of those things? Discuss, but with a Q. That commenting thing on that website for a while and such. And people would, like, would say thank you, or, like, note things that they ran into weird stuff, or that kind of thing. Or, I had a contact form as well that went to a Google spreadsheet. And you'd be surprised at how many people actually, like, drop a line and say thanks, you know? So it always... another one of those things in the sentimental box that's like, I might not actually run the website anymore because I shut it down a number of years ago. Because I was like, why am I paying to have this website when I don't update it ever? And still have the spreadsheet though. It's always just kind of nice when, you know, you can help someone. Though, what am I doing? Why am I trying to wave dash right there like an idiot? Okay, that one didn't count. But yeah, like, my website had, wow, had my tech blog on it. It had cooking on it, like recipes that I'd put together. I'd throw them up on there. I feel like part of the reason that I got rid of the website was that cooking section, because I had recipes for myself as well as one of my ex-girlfriends. So it was slightly painful to look at it in a way. And then there was also lots of poetry on it. And I moved the poetry. The poetry is actually one of the few things that remains in the world. Not on that website, but just on a different domain. And in addition to the poetry, there was smut. I'm unsatisfied by that run. Doing another. There was also smut that I would write that one of my friends really likes. I don't know why. Like, I wrote it for fun and to kind of like jot down pleasant dreams, as it were, I guess, or scenarios that occurred. And basically it was like a long con's the wrong word for it, but a long distance way of flirting, I would call it, with my then girlfriend and such. It was basically to give her ideas. But and it worked, don't get me wrong, it worked. But like one of my other friends who also likes my poetry also enjoys the smut. And I feel like he brings it up at least a couple times a year and like asking like if it's gonna come back. And I don't know why. The last time that I hung out with him and his girlfriend, actually, who mentioned it, and she like was like, wait, can I read it? And I'm like, why? It's not that good. Like, I feel like now that I've made that that Celeste map, the Into the Woods Chapter 1, even if my excuse is that I was half awake and got 7 hours of sleep that entire night, that dialogue is not the most amazing thing in the world. It's not going to win any awards. So, what I'm trying to say is the smut isn't, you know, that much better. Maybe like slightly better, because I'm not restricted to basically 2 characters. But still, although, I mean, yes I was, but still, wasn't restricted to the 2 same characters, let's put it that way. What else was on that website? A resume, I suppose. Yeah, resume, social links, that kind of thing. Basically all the things you needed as a young software engineer to get your name out. And it worked. Like, as a manager and such, if I get a job application or something, I'm going to look at their GitHub. If they have a personal website linked off of their GitHub, I'm going to look at their personal website. If they have side projects listed on that thing, I'm looking at them. I want to see what they do. Because a lot of the time, if people do have those kind of things, most of the time it's pretty cool. Or at the very least, you know, shows some love. Shows some effort for things. Shows you that it's maybe not just a paycheck to them. That they actually want to do interesting things. But then I always feel bad about it. Because I personally don't find what I do that intriguing. I really only stay at my job because I like the people. And I'm generally told that it's harder to find good people than it is to find a good paying job. In my field anyway. Which, like, I don't know. When I say it out loud, it sounds like it's conceited. Also, in case you're wondering why I'm so talkative and vaguely introspective, it's because it's my birthday this Sunday. and I'm turning 31. So I'll be over the hump, as it were. But more importantly, like, I don't have any plans. Like, my boss generally says, like, as a rule, it's like, oh, like, take off, you know, the day closest to your birthday. Why did I do that? Why did I make stupid decisions? Generally tells us to take the day, like, closest to our birthday off, which in my case would be a Monday, which would be nice to do, but also not the best option. My Mondays are loaded with meetings, like weekly meetings that are standing things that are kind of like set, like the tone and a lot of like line items for me to work on throughout the week, because they give me a heads up about like things coming down the pipeline and such. So missing a Monday just because it was my birthday a day ago. And I mean, like, I feel like one could make an argument and be like, oh, well, you know, work-life balance, you should take those days when you can, all that stuff. It's like, should I? I don't think I should. I took this past Friday off as a like treat to myself and everything, right? To kind of help get my brain back into place, which only partially worked. But also, like, it came at a terrible time because that presentation that I mentioned, I had less time to work on that than I would have liked. I mean, I still finished it up like midway through today, so plenty of extra time, but I still don't feel super prepared about giving it tomorrow. So, it is what it is. But I would have had more time, basically, is the gist of that, if I hadn't taken that Friday off. But I mean, for the past, like, 3 weeks, probably, each of those Fridays, I thought to myself, like, oh man, maybe I should take this day off, and then said no, I shouldn't. And then, of course, the one time I actually do is when I have a presentation. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that I don't know if I'll actually take advantage of that offer, or if I'll just, like, I don't know, maybe I'll do like a midday or something, like take a Wednesday off or some bullshit. The worst part, of course, or, well, it's not the worst part for me, it's fine for me, but the worst part, probably sounding to anyone listening, is, as far as what I'm probably gonna do on my birthday goes, I'm probably gonna do my taxes. Like, I do my taxes in my birth month because, you know, it is what it is. And typically I do them either like at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, and the end of the month is when my birthday is, and generally I have some free time during that, so. Nothing says glad you were born like handing your money over to the fucking government. That was almost close. I do kind of want to try to go down that little shortcut, but at the same time I don't. Like, it would be great just to drop right down there, but it's not really that hard to go through the normal way. Like, I get more worried going through this section. That was a little close. Also, I did sorry, this is totally different, but I did fiddle around with Fmod, the program you can use to import your music into Celeste. I haven't figured out how to do the track stuff, because each audio file you can have broken up into 4 tracks, and then you can let them like slowly come in. Like you can choose when you do the map editor, like what track your room will have, but also, sorry, which audio file your room will have as music, but also like which of the 4 tracks are enabled in that. I did it again. Which of the 4 ones are enabled? I haven't made music yet for the Celeste maps, but I did do the little tutorial on how to import it in the first place, which was fairly simple. Just involved a lot of like installing Fmod and other things and whatnot. So, but the tutorial didn't go over how to do multiple tracks, or at least not that I saw. So I might have to do a little bit more research to figure out how to do that kind of thing. But maybe I should use Kevin blocks in my map. Sorry. So many things to think about. So little time. Fuck. One more, I guess. I just realized, actually, no, never mind. Sorry, I'm having good thoughts about programming right now, in case you're wondering what I'm thinking about. I was just thinking about the storage of the flashcards and which ones you've seen already. And, you know, like I said, doing it bitwise and everything. But also thinking to myself, I was like, so how are you gonna like map that back and like remove flashcards? It's like, oh, well, you know, have to do it in reverse, because removing something from an array will reduce its size. So I don't want to do it from the beginning. So then maybe it would make sense to not store it like the first bit of the thing being the first card, but maybe the first bit being the last card. The other issue with it, of course, is that I'm always adding new cards, so it would keep growing though, so maybe not doing it in reverse. Wow, why am I garbage? Human garbage. Gomi. Was that Ningen Gomi? Human garbage? Watashi wa gomi desu. Urushi koto wa nani mo ga arimasu yo. I'm trying, so like obviously I can jump. Or not jump, sorry, dash. Obviously I can dash and avoid that. But I thought I had gotten pretty good at just doing it without. But I guess not. I become dumber, which doesn't surprise me. Actually today, I said to one of my coworkers that like, I asked him if he remembered anything from a few months back when we were kind of troubleshooting that thing that I was talking about, the weird dip in data. I can't get into specifics obviously about it, but and I said to him, I was like, oh, like, do you remember like anything that happened last November with this stuff? Because like your memory is better than mine, so I don't know. And he like laughed at me. I'm like I'm pretty sure his memory is better than mine. Like he's 50 something or 40 something or what? I don't know. He's older than I am by like at least 20 years. So over 50, I guess. And so, you know, maybe it makes sense for him to laugh, but I don't think he understands how bad my memory is. Maybe you all do. Considering how... I feel like I talk about it enough that it makes... not makes sense, but that's understandable. Because I do forget things a lot, and it does make me worry a little bit. My goal, though, speaking of birthdays, the thing that I've always said is like, you know, I'm just gonna live to 137 because it's a real nice number. It's a big goal for someone who eats pizza a lot, we'll say, but I don't know. Feels like it's doable. But the real question is, will I remember that I'm 137 when I get there? Or will I have Alzheimer's and forget everything? That was a little close. There's that one, like, album, I guess. I think it's an album. It's like a 6-hour-long album video experience, not video, but just audio of, oh, I wish I could remember the name of it. I watched the video, it was like a summary video of Wendigo, sorry, Wendigo. Wendigoon watching it, and it's like a music album that is supposed to be like someone going through all the symptoms or all the stages of Alzheimer's. And like I think it got popular because people were saying it's like, oh, like it'll make you super depressed and crazy and all this other stuff if you listen to it or whatever. Like a little bit of urban mythage going around it, I suppose. But like it's like all the tracks and like sections of the music and such are based around the stages, and they do some interesting things and such. That sounds intriguing. I don't know if I want to listen to it though. Excuse you? Huh. Well then. Okay. Alright. Well, should we call it here, or should we do one more attempt? I really like playing this game. I do. It gives me a lot of time to just kind of sort and organize my thoughts. Which I'm sure, you know, you just love to hear, but I don't know what else to do while doing the same thing over and over again and like making tiny little baby steps forward and just or just dashing my head against a rock. That's also good. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's things on my mind that are nice to talk about out loud, I guess. Like, one of the things that I think actually put me in a bit of a mood for the past couple weeks, maybe? Yeah, the past couple weeks. A week and a half? I don't know. Was that one of my college friends got married. And I knew that he was getting married because he had mentioned it to me the last time that I saw him, which was a few months ago. And the last time I saw him a few months ago was the first time I'd seen him in like a year and a half or something like that, right? But like, I used to live with him, was pretty damn good friends with him during college, and I'm sure that you can imagine where this is going, what would put me in a bad mood, and why I'm talking about someone's wedding. But yeah, like they mentioned it to me, and then like even asked, like they asked for my address, and I got a Christmas card from them, which is nice. But I think that's the first time I've gotten a Christmas card from any of the people who I went to college with. But nothing. Like my other friend was invited to their wedding and such. Nothing. No invite. Nothing in the mail as far as I saw. No mention of it, no text. Only knew that it was happening. Like, I knew that it was happening because they'd mentioned it previously before, like they hadn't given me a date or anything. Only knew that it happened like this past weekend because of like my other friend going to their wedding and such and taking some time off to do it. And I'm the one who approves his time off. So it's like, well, that's kind of shitty, you know? Like, I don't know what circumstances there were. Maybe they're trying to keep things, you know, very light or something, but like, you live with a guy for a few years, you think you get invited to the wedding. Maybe he's still upset that I won our bet about Brexit. I bet him like $5 that they'd exit, and he bet me that they wouldn't. And one of us read the Wall Street Journal every single day, and the other did not. And one of us won. Not every day, I should say. I alternated between the New York Times and Wall Street Journal to try to get some variety in my political bias. Though I will say that I prefer the Wall Street Journal over the New York Times. Generally speaking, I feel like people who need to make bets on markets and things, as far as money is concerned, need to have, you know, a decently... as less of a bias as possible to influence their money making. I think. I don't know. That's just my reasoning anyway. But if you want to make money, you need some somewhat accurate news. But yeah, so it put me in a bad mood. I don't know if I'd say I'm over it yet, because I don't know what I'll say to him next time I see him. Like, if I should address it or not. Because for all I know, they did invite me, and the invitation got lost in the mail, and I'm the asshole because I didn't reach out or something. But also, like, if it hadn't been, like, if that wasn't the case, and they just, like, didn't invite me at all, then me reaching out would be incredibly awkward. Because then they'd probably just have to lie to me or something and say they were trying to keep it small or something like that. Or maybe they were, and that's why, I don't know. But then I fall back to the, I lived with you for a good chunk of years. So, I don't know. Like I said, I've said this before in the past, but the people who I've met in college, for the most part, the people who I've met in college, except a few people, really, like, there's a big difference between the friendships I have with them versus the friendships that I have with people who I have been friends with since, like, elementary, middle, and high school. So, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I feel actually upset about it or just like meh about it for the most part. Boy, that could have been rough. Like, I feel like obviously if it put me in a mood, it upset me a little bit, but like, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I'd bring it up, you know, but I also feel like I don't know if I couldn't not bring it up in some fashion if I were to hang out with, fuck, I'm dead. If I were to hang out with them, because obviously, like, the first thing that you say to someone if you hang out with them after they gotten married is congrats on the marriage, right? To which I imagine the conversation would be like, yeah, where were you? And then find out that it was missing, or yeah, it was a great time, ... we didn't invite you. So I don't know, it's a weird thing. I mean, anyway, what I was saying before is that, like, the relationships that I have with people who I went to college with versus the people who I hung out with in high school are very different. So, like, it's not necessarily like closeness thing, I guess. I think I'd be more upset if someone, like, who I was really good friends with in high school or something didn't invite me to a wedding, more so than other people, because I don't feel like I'm in touch with the people who I went to college with as much. Like, they're all busy with their lives and such, but also, like, so are my high school friends, but we still make time for each other. So just kind of weird. Also, speaking of, my friends who have, like, started getting really into streaming lately and such are doing well for themselves, so that's good. They're, like, setting goals for themselves, like follower goals and that kind of thing. They all managed to get affiliate. They kind of like, with a bit of help from one of my friends who does a pretty good job for herself streaming, like, has a Discord with a little community in it that's, you know, all her centric around her streams and those things. A little cult of personality, I guess. Is that the right way to phrase it, or is that a negative term? Either way, there are people who she's friends with, and people who she's made friends with, I suppose, from streaming and such. And she gets, you know, like a decently regular crowd of chatters in her stream or so, like, you know, like a regular of, you know, in the teens and such. Better than I do, right? But she kind of like, why does the word shill show up to my brain and not whatever the polite form of that is? She showed their channels, shout outs, I guess. She shouted out their channels and stuff, kind of direct people to them and such. So they've grown at a decent clip, which is nice. And they're good people, so it's good for them. But I hope it, like, stays that way for them, I guess. And I also hope that, like, if it gets harder to grow, or, like, the growth slows down or such, that they'll hopefully, if it's good for them, they should stick with the grind, I guess. Because it definitely feels more like they kind of do it for trying to think what it is. Like, it feels more like they stream to grow, I guess. Like, to grow the stream, and it's kind of like the thing, or like selling their own brand. That's what I'm saying. Like, they do it to kind of sell their own brand and such, with, I assume, the goals of making some money off of it or something in some way, right? Meeting new people, getting said people to sub, all that stuff. Meanwhile, hi, I don't do that. Fuck. Different approaches to streaming, I guess. Different reasons for streaming. Yeah, one of them is fairly entrepreneurial. It doesn't really surprise me too much that he'd kind of get into that side of things a bit more and really be about selling his own brand, as it were. Well, I'm not good at that, I don't think. I don't know if it's just like a lack of confidence thing or something else. I feel like some of it is not necessarily bad, but sorry, I'm distracted now. I'm trying to think of ways to say it without sounding like an asshole. In the past, I have had some friends express their discontent with me over their feelings that I was being condescending to them in some ways. Condescending and or arrogant and those kind of things. And like, it happened enough in like significant capacities. Like, it put stress on a couple of good friendships that I had before, where people were telling me these things when I really didn't think I was doing them. To the point where like, I feel like I kind of overthink it and try to correct against it in some fashion. So then I end up not having a lot of like self-esteem or confidence around doing certain things, because I feel like if I did, then I'd come off the wrong way and then run into those situations again, if that makes sense. So like, I don't advertise my stream to my friends. Like, I don't really tell my friends that I stream. Like, they know because I'll cancel plans with them to stream. Or I don't cancel plans, but I plan around my streams and I let my friends know if they want me to do something, they need to give me time, like at least a day in advance. Otherwise, the answer is no, I'm going to do what I said that I was going to do. Because, like, even if I stream to 0 people, like 0 people or 3 people or whatever, like, if I tell myself that I'm going to stream, then I'm going to stream. Two hours is a good amount of time to give to yourself every night to relax, you know? Like, you need to relax. And most of the time I do feel like I relax and kind of sort my own thoughts while I stream, which is why I do it. It's more therapeutic than anything. Kind of like a lazy way of keeping a journal, almost. Because writing takes effort. Especially for someone whose wrists like to act up when they do so. But like, I don't advertise my stream to my friends. I don't like try to get people to come by. Like, I mean, I made the Twitter account to tweet out, like, if I wouldn't be able to, basically. So that way, if there were people who were trying to follow a game like Yakuza, for example, and such, if I wasn't going to stream it, then I could tweet, as long as I wasn't horribly distracted by a different game, like this past Friday. But, like, I don't promote that thing. I don't do a lot of stuff. I could. Definitely could. I could tell, you know, my friends on Facebook or those things to come stream. But also, I'm glad that I don't. Because, like I said, and like what I'm doing right now, and like sorting out the thoughts and those things, I don't really need people I know in real life to to deal with it with me, you know? Like sometimes it's kind of nice to deal with it anonymously or with strangers, like people who have objective opinions about things. I mean, like that's the entire reason that what's that subreddit? I don't use Reddit, so I don't really know, but there's that thing where people post questions. Am I in the wrong? I think is the name of it or something like that. Which typically I see like black pill shit from, basically. Like people tweet about it or like take a screen cap of something going on there. Just be like, look at this, the downfall of humanity right here in a post. Right? It's how I know of that channel of that subreddit in the first place. But yeah. Why was that relevant? I've already forgot. God, my memory is bad. For some reason, I keep thinking that if I'm aggressive right there, will work. I wonder how you do the teleport there. Anyway, for practice purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and beat this and then we can swap. Swap. Debating on if I want to program tonight or do something different or just cease streaming and play Final Fantasy XIV, which is always a good option. Though I don't know if I want to do that so much as I want to play Crush Crush. I just realized that I missed an update. So they added a phone fling for Quill, who is the cute cat girl, who I've always enjoyed. And the phone flings are some of my favorite shit. Crush Crush, like they're just good. They fill me with the warm fuzzies when I play them, or play them. I don't, play's not really the right word. Anyway, when I read them. But my Crush Crush is the patched version, so therefore I can't stream it. But I kind of want to see that phone fling through. This cute shit. So what is this? This is BO1, BO2? Right here. Boss. Okay, boss 01. All right. Okay, so if I fall downwards aggressively, then it's fine. But I can't approach her aggressively. Not in this room. Here, though, I can. Here, aggression is rewarded. That was a little close, though. Wow. Okay, I died to the blob, but that was a dodge. That was a hell of a dodge. This is the 4 one. Ooh. Wait, what? Was that 5? Hold on. Yeah, you just gotta get through one cycle and then that gives you enough time. And then this hell. Oh god. Oh, get her. Okay. Ah, right. Yeah, I feel like the main thing is that a Badlion boss fight generally takes place in a small area, and my my custom map thing is trying to use it in a bigger one. I'm surprised that didn't get hit. Man, this is gonna take so much time. This boss fight is gonna be... Like, the golden berry is gonna take a while for this one because of this boss fight. Like, I kind of imagine that Summit is gonna be easier, weirdly enough, than dealing with this boss fight. I could be completely wrong, but that's the sense I get. Because there's less RNG in Summit, I think. Not that there's a lot of RNG here if you just do it right, but... There's a lot to go wrong, I guess, would be the better way to phrase this. I did you a favor. Yama no ho. That's not mountain climb, that's to climb a mountain. Look at that! Beautiful aggression there. Wait, this is a, like, wave dash off to the right? Or not wave dash, but... Ooh, maybe there's a wave dash. There's a way to do this that just, like, launches you right at her. Just a regular jump. That's all you need. Be a really shitty way to go out with a berry. There's like, what, one more room? Is it one more or two room? Two more. I feel like the last room has a laser. Maybe I'm wrong? Extra dash was not needed there. This is the last room? No. But... No, this is the last one, right? Maybe? Yes, this is the last one. Yep. Okay. So I mean, we'll get it eventually, right? Right? Eventually. Alright, let's kill the old gamepad overlay. And then okay.
This is what tomorrow looks like.
For the noise of an ad. Just checking to see who's online right now. Wanted to see if Yellow Swerve was on or anything like that. He's not. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna stop yet. I don't feel like I like my idea about the programming thing and such. I don't feel like doing it on stream because it has to be done in JavaScript and I hate JavaScript. And more importantly than that, figuring out how to do how to handle binary data in JavaScript sounds like a pain in the ass and like something that I don't want to do on stream. So instead,